Welcome back to a new season of Lifestyle of the Broken Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and this is They Better Work. I am so excited to bring you our latest guest. They have been breaking barriers and making it look stunning. A face of the future in the fashion world and world in general. They are the first non-binary model to grace television's favorite runway, Project Runway on Bravo, turning looks and turning corners for gender queers to come. Please welcome the gorgeous D.D. Nicole Smith.
Hi.
Hey, thank you so much, Dee Dee. How's it going?
It's great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thankful. No shade. Like this is an amazing moment. Thank you.
Of course, no, honestly, I've been a fan since season 18, so I was like, this would be crazy to get you on. So I just thought, let me
Oh,
reach out and look,
yes. Thank you so much for, reaching out and working with me. I do get busy sometimes. So I do thank you for, still tagging along and just bearing with me. So I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, let's definitely get into it.
of course. Yeah, so I want to start just by letting you know my pronouns are he, him. And I just
Right.
wanted to know also, like, how should I address you?
Okay, yeah. So my pronouns are actually they and them, and she. Uh, now I've always told people like I really don't mind, as long as there's no malicious intent behind. I'm
Yeah,
pretty cool with everything, especially if you don't know, if I didn't tell you, But now if
yeah.
I tell you what my pronouns are and you still kind of willfully kind of call me a different pronoun, then I feel like you're being a little malicious. But other than
Yeah.
that, I usually say they and them, especially when I'm working on set or something like that. I'm usually the first non-binary person they work with, so to kind
Okay.
of set the tone, I usually just stay at they and them, so they can like kind of get used to that if they have any more non-binary models.
Just to ask, like, do you find yourself having to disclose that information yourself, or do people ask?
Um, I usually get people asking, which is the best thing, honestly. Because sometimes it's a lot to disclose to every single person you walk by,
Yeah,
right? It's a lot.
yeah.
And sometimes I do have to disclose it pretty fast because I do walk around in a very feminine way. I got my hair, my nails, my makeup, so
Yes,
some
honey.
people might think I'm cisgender woman. So I have to let them know right away, listen, I am non-binary. Just so we can, kind of get that out of the way. I don't ever want to feel like I'm, trying to lie to somebody or anything, because it's never that.
Yeah. And like with myself, I found later in life that I'm starting to feel more open with my masculinity as well as my femininity, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm more feminine to most people and then masculine to others, a
Mm-hmm.
smaller group. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm starting to feel more comfortable with the idea of
I
just
definitely get
really
that.
being true with myself. And
Right.
I think it's along the lines with people like yourself coming forward and just making statements that are so true to, I think, so many people that don't really understand what gender
Yeah.
identity
And
is.
mind you, I have a lot of non-binary friends. We talk about this all the time. We're like, some days, I want to, during the day, or I walk out the house wearing a dress, but middle of the day, I want to,
Yeah.
take the whole dress off and wear some,
Yeah.
combat boots and combat pants, and I want to just change it up.
Feel how
That's
you
just how it
feel at the
is. You know what I'm
moment.
saying? It's just every moment is different. You know what I'm saying? And other people will get to see that side. The people who you feel are comfortable with it. But since it's such a new
Hmm.
thing right now, I feel like it's not. You're not gonna get to see all sides of a non-binary person, only
Yeah.
because they're already getting judged so much. People think we're an
Yeah.
abomination. People think, oh, okay, this person's confused. And so that will just, further, um, I think, derive from the goal that we're trying to make as non-binary people.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like being the forefront You guys are paving the way for
Right.
others so that we are more comfortable. Because I know
Exactly.
being young and gay, I had that same battle, and sort of also I think I had that same battle with my gender, and I sort of pushed it more towards my sexuality.
Hmm.
But in any case, now understanding more of what it truly means being non-binary and what it means to be, yourself and be
Absolutely.
your full self, whether it's male, female, or non-binary, or in between, because honestly, we are too set on definition, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest problems, that we are taught this way. And I could really dive down into this, but I
I
think
know, and I didn't even mean to do this because
yeah,
I had it set up, but honestly, it really is such like a mind-opening conversation for everyone. For
hmm
like I said, I may be a gay man, but I still struggle with my gender identity and what it means to be feminine and masculine. So please explain as much as you like. Say whatever you like,
yeah.
honey.
Okay, great. Yeah. So basically, I was gonna say we are taught in a very heteronormative way,
Yeah,
in the way that we think. Right. We all want to categorize things in a box. We all want to make sense of things, and if it doesn't make sense to us, we're ready to get rid of it and not think about it. Right.
yeah,
So I think that's what a lot of people do to the non-binary people. I definitely think we are the black sheep of the world, of our community, because even some people in the LGBT community don't accept us. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's like to the point to where people just everywhere just think we're so confused that they just want to get rid of us, get rid of our whole existence, right?
yeah,
So it's definitely time now that people start to open their eyes, open the horizons, and understand everything is not going to be so traditional like it was, back then, or whatever the case may be. It's not going to be all, everybody just a man and a woman, or, it's not
yeah.
all like that. It's not,
And
everything's not
even
black and white. There's a lot of
not
gray area.
not to jump in here like this, but to even go as far as saying, non-binary does not mean that you are transgender or that you are trying to transition to anything.
Absolutely.
You are who you are. This is your identity. So I
Yes.
think
Thank
that's what
you.
a
Thank
lot
you
of
for
people
saying that.
struggle with.
Yes, thank you for, because that's another thing that we struggle with our own community. They think, oh, this person just is about to transition. They're just confused. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
And maybe some trans women might feel as like that for some non-binary people, but I promise you, we are not confused. That's why we say we're
yeah,
non-binary.
yeah,
This is a definitive term. I mean, who would want to be the black sheep, right? So
yeah,
of course, I think if we say that we're non-binary, pretty much the best case scenario, that's who we are, and that's who we're gonna
yeah,
stay. No,
yeah.
no shade. But
Exactly.
yeah,
Take it as it is. At, we're all growing and learning, and we all evolve.
exactly.
So that's why I don't understand what it's things are
Allow
so
people to
difficult for people.
allow people to develop in their own way. Allow
Yeah,
people to have their own stages of life. Don't try to rush people, because whenever you try to rush people because you know how their life should be, that's when things starts getting messed up. So
yeah,
just allow people to live their life, and just live their life at their own pace.
yeah. Thank you so much for explaining. I felt like this was going to be like the perfect opportunity to provide a
Yes,
little education for those who aren't aware, as well as
absolutely.
myself when it comes to like gender identity. But we have so much more to talk about, Dee Dee.
Yes,
And
let's
I
get into
don't
it.
want to make this all, one thing. So explain to me what it was like growing up in Miami. I read that's where you're from, correct?
Yes, I am from Miami, Florida,
Yes.
305, period.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yes, I love Miami. So I grew up in Miami Gardens. It
Okay.
was it's not the best neighborhood, I will say that. I had my phone stolen before. I definitely got jumped before. Somebody said they had a gun, they stole, it was a whole lot.
I know the
Not gonna
life, honey,
lie.
though. We all come from somewhere.
Okay. I'm just saying it's not, I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't easy. But what I will say is I was definitely very blessed in
Mhm.
my parents and my support system. And they put me in the schools that I wanted to be in. You know,
Okay.
I was very interested in acting, and I still am.
Okay.
They put me in acting schools since sixth grade. I was always been in musical theater. We've been, you know what I'm saying? So like I've always been in performing arts, which has helped
Okay.
me open my horizons too. You know,
Yeah.
I started opening up, and you know, and it helped me a lot to express myself and express my true feelings, because I felt like, you know, I was living in a place where I wasn't necessarily accepted. You know, I didn't necessarily
Mhm.
know who I was at that time yet, but I just knew I just wasn't like the rest of the people, right? So
Yeah.
I couldn't really find a group of people to find as my friends, or like as people who are around me, until I got into the performing arts high schools and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I did end up graduating from high school from New World School of the Arts, which anybody listening from there, I love y'all. Um,
Yes.
love New World School of the Arts. That's a school you have to audition to get into, and it's also
Okay.
a college as well. So it's very strict. It's hard. It's hard to get in, and it's hard to stay in. I would definitely say that,
Okay.
because it's definitely rigorous for those kids. And I loved every bit of it, because it allowed me, like I said, to express myself in ways that I
Yeah.
couldn't before. Mhm.
I see. I wish that I had that. I've always been into dancing and singing,
Right.
but growing up with machismo parents, I had to be,
Uh,
in baseball and hockey and
right.
all that. And I mean, I loved being involved in things and I love being outdoors and stuff, but that is definitely something like I feel like I missed out on. But I love that you were so involved. Were you
Yes.
always into fashion at that time?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Me and my best friend.
Yes.
Now they should have put us for best dress. I'm still mad at that. So whoever, listen. But anyway, because we had different outfits. Because this was in our high school, they didn't have dress code. So that was the first school
Okay.
I ever had. They didn't have dress code. While everybody's walking around in they sweats and pajamas, me and my friends always had different outfits every day. So I'm like, why did y'all not
Yes.
give us best dress? Like that's weird. But it's
It's the people
okay,
who
you
are
know.
involved. The students handle that yearbook stuff. So
Uh-huh.
hating,
Okay,
hating.
they were hating on us, but it's okay.
I
They was
love
definitely hating
that.
on us.
So when was your first time on a runway? Did you do any like fashion shows in school?
Yeah, so actually my first time ever hitting the runway was none other than my well, it was more of like a presentation than a runway, but it was
Okay.
still my first time in a fashion show. It was
Okay.
my cousin Sergio Wonders. He actually was one of my cousins who I've known for a while when I was a kid, because I've seen him in at different family reunions, but I didn't know him because he always lived in New York.
Okay.
I was in Miami. So
Yep.
once I finally moved up here, at 17 after high school, I came up, got to actually meet him and like really hang out with him.
Mhm.
He asked me to be in his fashion show, and I was so astonished. I'm like, "Are you sure me? I don't know how to walk. I don't know anything about modeling. Are you me?" Like, I was not believing it. But he was like, "Yes, I think you got it. I have so much faith in you." And no lie, him having that faith in me is what literally started this whole thing. Like, if he didn't
Yes.
really push me, if he didn't really, I wouldn't be here today. No, like, I'm really serious. Like, he really pushed me, and he's like,
Sergio.
yes,
Sergio
so this,
saw what we're all seeing now, boo.
yes,
That's what
we all
happened.
exactly, and that's why I always will give my love and my shout outs to Sergio Wonders, because he really didn't have to do that, but he did. And once I was on that stage, I just knew it. This was just something I needed to do.
That's amazing. That's
Mm.
amazing. And I love that it's, sort of family derived. I am like big with
Yes,
my, you know, you're
absolutely.
West Indian Jamaican, right?
Yes, West Indian. Yes, I'm Jamaican and Haitian.
Yes. Okay. And I'm Puerto Rican Dominican. So you know how it is with family. We like all look out for each other, try to do
Yes,
things for each other when we can. even though we're
Absolutely.
messy as hell.
I'm a really big family person. And my heart goes out to all the, people in our community who can or who is like not accepted by their family, because I know
Exactly.
that can really weigh on somebody. I'm very thankful and blessed, and I always just thank God for that, because if I didn't have my family, I don't know where I would be, like, for real.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel you
so
100%.
it's just
100%.
it's such a blessing to have them on my side. Like, oh my God, I'm even about to start crying. Oh my God, I love my family. I love my family to death. Okay, I'm not gonna
I
cry.
love that. And I love that they love you because you're amazing. And they created something, because what people don't realize is we take everything from our experiences growing up. So it's like
Absolutely.
they created you, boo. They created this
Literally,
icon.
literally, literally, yes.
I love it. So when you were selected to be part of Project Runway, did you
Mhm.
realize that you were going to be the first non-binary model on the show?
Yes. So I've done so before they actually hired me, I was
Mhm.
actually casting for Project Runway seasons before. They
Okay.
just never casted me, and I was like, what's going on? Maybe
Okay.
they don't want non-binary people. um
Mhm.
but at that time I still had the casting director's IG and stuff like that, so we always used
Okay.
to DM each other, like each other. I'm very big on connections.
Yes.
Whoever, what I always tell people, if you really want to make it in here, make sure you're big on connections, keep those connections strong, whatever you
Yeah.
do. Okay, so I always make sure, I check in with him, whatever the case may be. Yeah, the casting director hit me up and he was like, I'm casting right now. And he's the one who really pushed me. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be on it. I'm on Project Runway. Because he was like, I think it's time. I think it's really time. We
Yes.
had, because the season right before, I think Mimi walked. She was the first transgender model, right? So
Hmm.
he was telling me, we just had Mimi as our first transgender model. We really, really he said he really wanted to push to the other, to the boardroom, to the directors that, they wanted a
Yeah.
non-binary person. So he was like, send me all of your videos. You walk in New York Fashion Week, because I walked plenty show before that.
Yes.
Send me all your videos, everything, every last bit of it, so I can send it to the board right now. So I did just that, and yeah, like I was just, when I tell you, I was just so scared. I was like, oh my God, I hope I get it, I hope I get it. And he finally called me back. He's like, you got it. And I'm just like
Yeah.
gagging, because at the end of the day, I go to every season. All those girls are signed to big agencies.
Yeah.
I'm the only one not signed. So
Okay.
it was because of his push that I even got this opportunity, that even, people could even see me
His
and give,
push and
this
that walk.
platform.
And that
Yes,
walk.
yes,
Yeah.
of course, of course. I mean, I don't want to take no credit for myself, but I'm very, I'm
Take
super
it, boo.
humble.
That take it. Honestly, when I saw you walk, I was like, finally. I was like, after so many seasons, because I've been to a couple balls in my life, and it's just like, even just going out, Beyonce comes out on the club, like we would be pumping. So it's just like it makes so much sense to
Hmm.
have this type of representation. I mean, you kill it. Is some girls just walk and you literally make that fabric move. So
Yes.
that's what we need to see. I
Thank
loved it.
you. I appreciate that. I really, I'm so humble to the point, like, where I'm just like, yes, like, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. I'm bad
It's a
at taking
lot. It's a
compliments.
lot because honestly, it really is just, it was very mind blowing seeing it. But then also to see how Project Runway also spotlighted you in a different way
Yeah.
that it was beautiful. So
Yeah.
I thought it was
Absolutely. And
past
that's
time.
another thing. I always want to say thank you to Project Runway, because they don't do that. They don't do,
Yeah,
they
I know.
definitely
I know.
don't do that. And I'm just so thankful for them, for even giving me a spotlight, for even, they could have just hired me and just had me as a model, regularly.
Yeah.
Like, but they gave me a spotlight, gave me an interview with Christian Siriano. Like, It's just so much that
Yes.
Project Runway has helped me with, just giving me this beautiful platform. I can't say, I just can't say thank you enough, honestly.
I love that. And you feel as if like this is opening more doors for yourself and the genderqueer
Absolutely.
community? Yeah.
Absolutely. Not only do I feel like it has opened doors for our community, I saw it literally in my
Yeah.
face. So when we filmed the finale, they actually hired another non-binary model. And I gagged because I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only non-binary person here. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, it really, and that was on season 19. So I was just like, oh my God, like me doing these past seasons really opened the door for other people. Like, I'm actually getting to see it with my own eyes. I don't, most people that, that they get to pave the way and open the doors for people, they probably don't see that maybe until like a year, like couple years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I saw that immediately, I was just like, whoa. And even for like, and I'm not trying to take all the credit here because I know Rihanna Fenty Savage has been doing her big ones too, and she's been putting a lot of different people on the runway. But
Yeah.
even this year's fashion week, there was a lot more non-binary people I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, if you think about it, Project Runway is to a whole different audience. Because me, myself, like, I'm not the most fashionable person. When I think of people who watch Project Runway, a lot of it is like, people on the go, like moms and stuff like that, who
Yeah.
love fashion and stuff like that. So it does feed to a much more mainstream audience. So I
Hmm.
feel like that does make a huge difference.
I think so too. And I'm just like, I'm so happy that more non-binary people are on the way. I never thought we would really come to a day like this. Like, I know I've been fighting this fight for years, but I just didn't think it would
Yeah.
actually happen. Um, so I'm excited. I'm happy to see, a lot of my sisters and stuff on the runway and stuff. Like, I love
Yes.
seeing it. All
I love
representation
that. I
matters.
love it.
Yes.
You should be very proud and very happy. And um, I want to know from the show, have you worked with or do you have any plans to work with any other Project Runway designers? I mean, Nancy
I
Volpe
have,
Berenger, I interviewed her and she's obsessed with you. And
yes, you
you
already know.
killed it with Chantal's looks.
Yes, you already know I love Nancy. Nancy is my all-time favorite. She's always
Yeah,
just been so sweet. I love her
yeah.
down. I love her
She
down. I
is
would always
such a
love to work with
sweetheart.
her. Whenever I go to Philly, I know for sure that will definitely happen. Um,
Aw,
I have a couple people, I always try to make sure I keep the designers, like I said, I'm really good with connections. I love making sure I stay connected.
yeah.
So I have worked with some designers from season 18. I have worked with some people in season 19 as well, and I have some things to come. So yeah, stay
Yes.
tuned.
Yes. So I want to know what is a goal that you secretly want to accomplish? It doesn't necessarily have to be a secret. I mean, if it is, you don't have to share it, but if you'd like to.
Okay. Well, like I said before, one big goal that I'm really trying to focus all of my energy onto now, because thankfully, like I said, this platform and Project Runway's given me has been so major. I've been also getting some, different opportunities come my way in terms of TV and stuff. So that's one of the
Yes.
biggest things I really, really want right now. I really want to keep pushing TV, movies. Acting has always been one of my biggest passions ever since, like I said, I was in middle school and doing all those
Yeah.
acting classes in high school and stuff. So
Yeah.
if I can turn this around, get back in acting, I would love that. I mean, they always put models in movies anyway, but now this model who can actually act, I think that would be awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Thank
It's
you.
definitely happening. Keep
Yes.
going for it, boo. Now,
Thank you.
this year, we've been seeing an uprising in anti-LGBTQ laws, including in Florida.
Yep. Let's talk about it.
So, uh, honestly, what message do you have for the queer youth that are looking up at you right now, who are most likely feeling even more vulnerable than, ever
or
before.
ever before. Yes, I did read into that law that they're passing in Florida. And while they think, I mean, I feel like they said, right, don't say gay act. I feel like they were trying to make it seem as if it's like a nice thing, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's not. Because
No.
what they're doing is erasing all of our memories, all of our history, right? So the
Yeah.
teachers can't go and teach us about these LGBTQ things. That's like them not being able to teach Black things. That's erasing all of
Yeah.
all of the Black history that we have, right? So it's the
Which
same
already,
exact,
when you
which is
think about it, our
which is
history is
already
so
done.
whitewashed,
Exactly.
but now it's
Um,
like so
Now they're trying to do it with the
hetero. It's
LGBTQ
like
people, right?
it's craziness.
So you could already see the type of thing that you could see the type of time you're on, And I
Yeah.
think that is just very, 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 very. Are we surprised that it's happening? I don't think I'm surprised, but
Mm.
I'm definitely very upset. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, even you see, what is the president said something about it too. There's been a
Yeah.
lot of different celebrities talking about it too. This is really major. There's been kids
Yeah.
out there with signs out there. They chanting and everything. Like there's kids
Yeah,
out
it's
there who
like, how could you
protest
ignore the fact that full schools are walking out
literally
protesting? The
walking out
whole
protesting.
schools. It
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. But
But what I do want to say to them is, I want to thank a lot of these social justice words. They don't even know how young they are and how much of an impact they're making.
yeah,
And I just want to thank them because uh, that's amazing. And also, I want to say, just stay strong.
yeah,
Definitely stay strong. This is about to be your future. These are the leaders that these are the future leaders. So at the end of the day, it's their world. Okay,
yeah,
make it to what you want it to be. And I love to see how everybody is up in action and ready to fight for one another, because I think that's what a lot of us need in this time.
yeah,
It's a lot of these people with traditional thinking minds, right? They
yeah,
can't even fathom to even think about seeing somebody as open as these very young kids are. And I
yeah,
think for that, I think is very ignorant. Definitely is very ignorant and very lame in my eyes. I
yeah.
feel like if you don't understand it, if you don't understand, you can't understand why somebody's doing this. Just look it up. Just find some information. If you don't understand
Speak
what's
to
going
people.
on,
Sit
speak
down,
to
have
people.
conversations.
Exactly. Sit down, have a conversation. And even that, like, I'm a non-binary person who doesn't mind giving up knowledge, but not everybody wants to.
Yeah.
Go ahead
No,
and
exactly,
don't wait for
exactly.
somebody who's non-binary to talk to you. Go on Google. Everybody got Google.
Yeah, yeah. You
What's
no,
so
that's
wrong?
100% because no, that's the truth. No one wants to be harassed about something just because you think they may have the knowledge. The knowledge is there. You just have to be willing to absorb it. That's what most
Exactly.
people don't. They don't want to do
Willful.
the work.
I cannot stand willful ignorance. If you're willing to
Yeah,
be ignorant, then me and you, we can't have a conversation. You have
yeah,
to actually want to learn this for me to like teach this to you.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I got to see that you're bringing things to the table to even have a
Mhm.
conversation like that. But no, you're 100% right. So let's just switch it up a little bit so we
Okay.
don't get too angry because yeah, you were right. I'm about to curse motherfuckers out.
Oh
DeSantis,
yeah.
that bitch, I can't. But since Fashion Week just passed last month, what trends are you most excited for in the coming seasons? Is there anything like you're ready to sport in the spring and summer?
Um, Honestly, I for the summer, I would definitely say for the summer, I like being more naked than anything. But
I agree.
um
Same, same.
I'm
That's why
still
I
I'm
like
still
summer, and I wanted to move to Florida, and DeSantis is fucking ruining it.
okay, okay. I'm still, Miami person at heart. So like I
Yeah,
definitely love, going to the beach and things, being naked. I love that. But
yeah,
other than that, like my style for real, I love, playing with different sizings of
Okay.
different things. Like if I'm wearing, a huge jumbo shirt, I'll probably wear like a skinny pants. Or if I'm wearing skinny
Yeah.
or big jumbo pants, I'll probably wear a skinny shirt. If that makes sense. I love
No,
playing
it
with different
makes
sizings.
100%.
Yep, different sizing, different shapes, things like that. I do love wearing bell bottom jeans. You'll probably always see me in a bell bottom. I love a good
Yes.
flare. I do love a good flare. But yeah, that's me.
I love it. I love it. And I always like to just end the session just asking my guests if they have any nonprofits that they can inform our listeners about. Are there any
Oh
charities that
yes.
you're passionate about?
Yes, I do. I actually have one that I'll be potentially be doing some work for. Let me find it. For the Girls. So if you guys look up For the Girls, it's an amazing foundation. They raise money to assist Black transgender people, rent and affirmative surgery. So
Okay.
this is just, a good foundation organization directly for Black trans people and stuff like that who who need help with that rent. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we are the Black sheep of the community. So it's harder for Black trans people, Black non-binary people to either get jobs or find stable places. There's a lot of different things and variety ways that we kind of get shit on
Yeah.
to put in
There's so
better
many
words.
elements that people don't think about. And it could be like the smallest things.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great organization for the
Yep.
girls. I'll definitely be
Yes.
putting the information in
Yes, that's
the bio
FOR.
description of this.
And that's
Go
Grills with
ahead.
the it's FORTHEGWORLS. So Grills. Yes.
Yes, girls. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
got you. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Dee Dee. This
Of
has been
course.
amazing. And I feel like I provided you with a whole draft and it's gone very off script, but you were
I love that. That
so
makes it more
open and
authentic.
informative. I really do love and appreciate this so much.
Yes, I love this. Honestly, like I said, thank you so much for giving a voice to people like me, because a lot of us don't have voices, so I really do appreciate you for, providing this space for us to speak and for, me to potentially touch somebody with my
Baby.
words, honestly.
Baby, anytime. I'm telling you, I've had little fashion segments here and there because I know a lot of people that are work at some high-end fashion stores down in the city and stuff. Grew up with a lot of people that are in that world. Unlike myself, I live for Project Runway, so that's why I've been interviewed a lot of Project Runway alum.
Uh-huh.
But um, anytime, I am happy to have you on the show. It has been an honor, and I really
Yes.
see so much for your future. And I'm going to
Oh,
be telling my little queer kids one day that I interviewed Dee Dee Nicole Smith.
oh. That is so sweet. Oh, stop. You're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, it has been amazing. Thank you, Dee Dee. I hope you have a
Of
great
course. Thank
night.
you. I hope you do too. Thank you so much.
Bye bye, boo.
Bye, love.
Thank you so much to my guest, Dee Dee Nicole Smith. They are not only stunning, but an icon in the making. As someone in the LGBTQIA community, it makes me feel extremely honored to have had the chance to speak to someone our future generations will remember for their accomplishments today. If you have not seen Dee Dee grace the catwalk, check them out on seasons 18 and 19 of Project Runway on Bravo. You can also find them on several social media platforms, which I will include in the description of this episode. Thank you to my listeners for tuning in, and another special thank you to Dee Dee Nicole Smith for joining us. Remember to spread peace, love, and happiness, and always be creatively you.